I want to talk today about one of my pet peeves and also what keeps me awake at night, and remind you that we as NRENs and regional RENs are knowledgeable procurers of telecommunications technology, and with that, barometers of market competitiveness in our countries and in our regions. And sometimes, today, it is time for us to raise our voices as a community and speak truth to power. When we look at offers received during a procurement, we all know that the price we see only marginally reflects the cost of the underlying technology. The delta that we see is what I call the digital divide. And there are three effective ways of overcoming this digital divide that is created when price has no relation to cost whatsoever: deregulation, challenge, and truth to power. Europe used to suffer from exactly this digital divide. In the 90s, we were hampered by uncompetitive regulated markets. And look at the price drop. We, in the RREN community, experienced in 1997 when the European telecommunications market was finally deregulated. This is a logarithmic scale. And it is finally, from my opinion, the reason for the success and the growth of the RREN network and the European NREN networks. From a cable perspective, Africa is one of the best connected continents in the world. But internet penetration is still the lowest in the world. This is because the market does not regulate itself. There's a need for government to understand, to be interested, to understand the impact, and to deregulate. In the meantime, we challenge. Look at the enormous price drop we witnessed together with the UbuntuNet Alliance during the Africa Connect tender. Prices dropped by a staggering 94%. Because we bought wholesale and we challenged the providers. They responded in very many countries and on very many routes, and they responded beautifully, and they lived up to their social responsibility, and I do congratulate them. But the cost versus price problem persists in West and Central Africa, and I have to say, it is the biggest nut that I have been asked to crack so far. London-Lagos is about roughly the same distance as London-New York, but pricing is about 10 to 20 times more expensive. This, obviously, in an environment that is much less abundant as anything we see between Europe and the US. But the rest of West Africa, West and Central Africa, we are faced with a very bleak reality of providers who do not rise to the challenge of doing the right thing and allowing affordable connectivity to the RRE community. We see pricing 100, 1,000, and on some routes even more in the rest of West and Central Africa. So we need to speak truth to power. If we want to ensure that West and Central African countries and their NRENs, researchers, students, and the children can become part of the digital economy, we have to challenge governments in the region, their regional bodies and representatives. We need to call out to the United Nations, particularly the Broadband Commission, the World Bank, the African Union Commission, ECOWAS, and the African Development Bank, and make it crystal clear that the reason for the slow development of the digital economy is the pricing we see. I ask you to use your power as knowledgeable procurers, as barometers of market economies, as a community of globally interconnected NRENs and regional RRENs, as ISOC, to remember where we came from and to raise your voice and join me, insisting on the need for affordable internet in all areas of the world, where our users, scientists and students, and the next generation is still connected at the end of a shoestring, not because of lack of infrastructure, but because of the lack of affordable infrastructure. Thank you very much.